Hey lovelies, Lisa here with another hashtag 78 days, and today we're going to be focusing on the Five of Wands. And I'm again coming to you at the end of my day, so I'm a little fuzzy, a little flaky, a little ruddy from the incandescent lighting. And yeah, and I'm wanting to talk to you about a card that has been really hugely important to me. A big player in my life for the past, I don't know, yay number of years, really very much in the past 2 years. And I'm running through the Rider-Waite imagery for this suit of wands, and then I'll come back to the Five of Wands, but that's not the deck that I'm wanting to focus on. I just want to recall this imagery because the deck I'm going to be focusing on today, the Alchemical Tarot Renewed, actually offers a very different vision of the Five of Wands that might be a kind of healing vision. So, in many ways the wands are, they're certainly the suit of will, and will as something that's different from the mere kind of appetite of the body. Will as something that is defined precisely by the ways in which our mind gets us moving toward a goal that's a little bit more distant than what the body wants. So, we think about will. This is the Chariot card from Robert M. Place's Sevenfold Mystery, which is a wonderful deck introducing kind of very crucial Neoplatonist ideas. The video, the link is below. Angelo Nazio's interview with Robert M. Place about Neoplatonism is a really great, just like, it's like 18 minutes that you will find valuable. Think about this chariot image, right? The chariot in Plato's Phaedrus is an image of the soul, of Psyche. And so really the whole of this image, the charioteer and the two horses, that's us, right? That's all of us. And, the driver here is reason. And reason has her hands full because she's got to work with not just our bodily appetites, right? Not just that kind of like, rah, 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 nom, nom, nom energy, or like, I hate energy, but also with the force of our mind, which can be activated by things that are good, right? That recognizes the good. And wants to go after it. We sort of, we have goals. We have desires that are beyond just satiating our immediate bodily needs or appetites. So the will, the white horse is a good horse, but nonetheless, the will, our drive into the world, can also get us into trouble. Like we go after stuff, and in going after it, by definition almost, it's like there's us here and there's the stuff out there. So just even the movement of will can put us at odds with our world. A very, very traditional way of thinking about will, and certainly a way of thinking about it that is really important in the Renaissance, in the period that is birthing the tarot, is to think that the will is that mental, that mind force that imposes an idea on nature, on raw material, on matter. So the will is like our ability to create form, right? To create and impose structure on matter. When Machiavelli talks about this in The Prince, he talks about virtue. Virtue is this quality, not like virtue in the sense of being a virtuous person, but virtue is in the sense of like strength of will, that ability that the leader has, that the ruler who's really powerful has to impose their will upon the world. So, that kind of imposing of will upon the world is, it can be kind of brutal, because there's the world, and then it's like, ooh, I'm going to impose my will upon you. So that's where the Five of Wands comes in for me. The Five of Wands is this kind of, for me, this is the card of politics. This is the card I've kept drawing over the past 2 years as my job has entailed a lot of striving against others and, sort of aiming to wrangle my position in a different, like sort of one rung up the ladder. That sort of competitive spirit, which can be really fun, really energizing, but ultimately can be also quite exhausting. You know, these 5 sticks could come together to form a pentacle, but they're not, right? There's this embattled spirit which takes my individual will and my individual energy and puts it against that of all others in my environment. So, does this make for a more creative, more vibrant, more loving, more fruitful, flourishing world? I mean, what is the impact of competition? Again, it's energizing, and I've certainly experienced that in my own relationship to my work. But that outlay of energy and of oomph, of the white horse going for it, it also leaves me at the end of the day sometimes feeling both exhausted and alone. So here we come to Robert M. Place's Alchemical Tarot, where for him the suit of wands, it's about fire, and it's about fire in the sort of system of alchemy as being the transmutational element par excellence. Fire is what creates change. Fire is what gets applied to other substances and makes movement happen. So in that context, we come back to the 5. And for him, the 5 is now the 5 fingers of one hand ablaze. I'll come back to that in a second. I just want to show all of these cards. The cards are very, very similar to the Sevenfold Tarot of the Sevenfold Mystery. That deck really offers, in the pips at least, in the minors, offers a kind of simplified version of the imagery in the Alchemical Tarot. So they're really companion pieces. And in fact, I think it's worth owning both decks. And if you do own both decks, do yourself a favor and get this book. So here's what he says about the 5 of Staffs. A hand whose 5 figures are transforming into 5 burning staffs is held up against the sky. 5 is the number of creativity, and this image represents creative energy flowing through a hand. It may be the hand of an artist, inventor, scientist, and entrepreneur. The fire is the energy and enthusiasm directed into a project. It is a bit frightening, though, because it appears that the fire may consume the hand, and there is a real danger that the person may burn out because of continued work. So to me, what's important here is the way in which this is one hand aflame. And there's a way in which the energy that I associate with even just the traditional 5 of Wands and the Rider-Waite, this could be the energy of a team, right? This could be the energy of 5 separate fingers coming together into one creative endeavor. So what is it that can turn this energy, this activity, this oomph, this burst of will into a unified activity? What is it that can bring each finger together into a hand? In my own work, that's one of the things I've tried to do, is try to figure out how to create communities of practice where people work together. And I've also seen how challenging that can be, particularly in our culture where, we don't typically see this as being 5 individuals coming together to work as one hand on a task. We see this, and Robert M. Place's language articulates this as the hand of a single innovator, the creator, the entrepreneur, right, the artist. I'm really interested in how the energies of individuals come together to reveal something that is common, that is shared, that is communal. To me, that's the kind of energy that the wands can unleash, the kind of energy that can transform not just a substance for me, but that can transform the world for all of us. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. Can we in the end turn the combative power of politics, of a competition where each person seeks the vantage point, the higher ground, the victory, the kind of victory that we might see and celebrate as an individual victory in the six? Can we turn that vision of individuals in their competitive rivalry into the hand that sets ablaze and changes the world? The hand of community. I don't know. All right. I'm going to take my fuzzy-headed self and get me to bed. I'm going to put out the fire for now and go Betty bye. All right, everyone. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for your practice in this world. Take care.